How many times have we seen a bunch of smoke around an exchange and there hasn't been fire? Not very many, guys. Not very many. Listen to me now. Swan Bitcoin. Run. Run from Swan Bitcoin. Where are you at, McGruber? Of course, you would think by now that people would understand that if your exchange has someone like this guy who has terrible hair, you would think you would understand, right? My new book is called Catching Up to FTX, Lessons Learned During My Crusade Against Fraud, Corruption, and Bad Hair. Guys, Corey Clipson's got the worst hair I've ever seen next to Sam Bankman-Fried. This was on March 17th. This was almost 3 months ago. Do you guys know that Join Swan Force, aka Swan Bitcoin, the fraudulent company by Corey Clipson, who made all of his money shilling ICOs, this is true, uses the exact same custodian for their Bitcoin that served FTX? Ask yourself the question, did Prime Trust keep FTX's Bitcoin safe? Did it? Did it, Corey? Very interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. Now, you may say to yourself, what is Prime Trust? What's going on with Prime Trust? Now, I can't show you this. I can't show you this because Corey Clipson blocked me from Twitter because I've been speaking truth to him. Now, certainly, I block people from Twitter because they might be annoying. Corey Clipson is someone who I have had a lot of dialogue with back and forth over many, many different issues. And I finally struck the nerve that got him to block me. Okay. And Gary Gensler is easily Mr. Burns. There he is. But the fact is, Corey Clipson on this thread said something about how ridiculous this is that I would even bring this up. Well, now you fast forward and now they're transferring all of their crypto from Prime Trust. Big shocker. At the same time, Swan's wire transfers as well as custody and trading business lines were both operating under degraded performance. Why do you think that is? Degraded performance. The company on its website listed a major platform upgrade is being underway each day since May 30th. And here he is, attacking Coinbase. Here he is, guys. Corey Clipson, this guy would sell his children if he thought he could go on a public platform and bash everything other than Bitcoin. This guy's so desperate for attention that he literally tried to get in on CoinDesk TV that nobody watches. And he tries to I'm on CoinDesk TV. Guys, they get 7 viewers at one time.
That's almost double CNN, though.
It is almost double CNN. That is true. Think CoinDesk. We're going to crush CoinDesk and Cointelegraph, by the way. Can't wait to tell you guys more about that. The company owes a Twitter space about the lawsuits, which included Bitcoin, not crypto. Guys, I'm not even halfway done with this story. On Wednesday, self-service Bitcoin withdrawals remain unaffected, while instant buys as well as automated service savings plans and automated withdrawals were not operational. Now, you may ask yourself the question, okay, well, what's the big deal? If automated withdrawals were not available, but self-service Bitcoin withdrawals were, what does that mean? That means think about this, guys, use your brains. Your brains, you have them. Use them. This means all of the people that were sitting around and had these automatic withdrawals going on that don't pay attention. That's the whole reason you do automatic withdrawals is so you don't have to pay attention. They cut all of those out because they didn't have the funds to do it in the custodian because of Prime Trust. And they can do self-service ones because the people that noticed were not very many. So if they cut out all the automatic ones, they still had access to enough Bitcoin to give you the custom ones. They give you the self-service withdrawals. Use your brain, people. Use your brain. Guys, we've seen this a million times so far. I want to ask you this question. Outside of, and we know Gate.io is having problems, right? But remember when Crypto.com transferred all that money to Gate.io? Do you remember that story, Tim? Okay, this was right after FTX. There was a huge transfer from Crypto.com to Gate.io, and then Gate.io used those funds to say they had a bunch of money, and then I think they transferred it back. Can't remember what happened. Outside of all the rumors around Crypto.com being insolvent, and I would say KuCoin gets those rumors all the time too, how many times have we seen a bunch of smoke around an exchange and there hasn't been fire? Not very many, guys. Not very many. Listen to me now. Swan Bitcoin, run. Run from Swan Bitcoin. If you have been using them for Bitcoin, if you can self-service withdraw, you do it now and you do it immediately. Okay? Now, I want you guys to look at this lie from Swan Bitcoin here. I want you to look at this lie. Okay? Here it is. The company on its website listed major platform upgrade as being underway since May 30th. This has been going on for a week, okay? For a week, they've been having problems. The company has moved to transfer all of its assets to 2 new custodians. Guys, they weren't doing an upgrade. They were trying to figure out how to get access to Bitcoin to give it to their customers. Think about how dishonest this is. Now let's go back to Twitter here real quick and let's look at some more of my tweets about this because, man, I sure have loved this. Man, I love it when my enemies fall, and I can't wait to get to the Gary Gensler story here in a moment. Update on our major platform upgrade. Thank you for the $2, dickhead. Sorry, excuse me. Thank you for the $2. I'll take that. Sorry, that was a little unfamily friendly. I do not like to call people, after Richard Nixon. When I said that, I was saying that he loved Richard Nixon. That's what I was saying. Update on our platform upgrade. That's for Swan Bitcoin. That's for that guy that comes and did we ban that guy from the channel?
I just did.
Okay, thank you. But thank you for the $4. Appreciate that. Update on our platform upgrade. Self-service withdrawals are back up for almost all clients, which means that for a period of time, you couldn't get any of your Bitcoin off Swan Bitcoin. The number one thing that they preach against. These are the most intellectually dishonest people in the world. The Bitcoin maximalists, your Corey Clipstons, your Swan Bitcoins. It is disgusting that they criticize Binance. How many problems has Binance had problems with withdrawals? Not very many. And if so, it's usually one asset at a time, and they actually usually tell you beforehand, as opposed to this one where you find out as you go to withdraw. Purchasing is getting close. Thanks for your patience. On the other side of this is a stronger Swan. Does a stronger Swan sound like a major platform upgrade? No, it means you've gone through something. You freaking liars.